innovatively 5 years down the road, and it's shown up in the work being done in Kansas City. And I'm honored to call him a friend and a guy who I think is going to hopefully enlighten us to be thinking outside the box of where we currently are. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mr. James Glenn.
The importance of a strong and cohesive network, creating a solid collaboration framework, and keys to successful collaboration is what I'm going to talk to you about today. If I can get you to benefit by all the things that I screwed up, I will be so happy. It will be. The Kansas City, Missouri Continuum of Care is actually run as a separate private nonprofit. It's largely city funded. They have about 88 plus members, social service and otherwise, and they have an annual, I think, fee of $60 you pay to be part of their membership. They do a lot more than just the HUD Continuum of Care, and we'll talk a little bit about that, although that was the primary purpose. I've been involved with the Kansas City Continuum of Care unbelievably since its inception, which scares me, and every time I say that out loud, I think I should get my own mental health checked, to be honest with you, because that was a long time ago. Johnson County, Kansas, which is largely suburban. It's kind of quasi-governmental. It's run by United Community Services, but it is really largely county funded. The county is very involved, and it's set up in a different structure. They have about 60 plus members there at the Continuum of Care. The Kansas Balance of State Continuum of Care is actually run by the Kansas Statewide Homeless Coalition. I am on their board of directors. It is completely a separate nonprofit. It takes money from whoever will be willing to give it to us. Hint, hint, you can pull out your checkbooks if you'd like. I'd love to take your money. But it really is completely separate from a lot of governmental oversight. And then the last one is Wyandotte County, Kansas. It is, again, urban, and it is housed, actually, in the unified government. It also just started a fee structure for its members, and I think we have somewhere around 60 or so participants in that continuum of care, okay? I heard this morning a lot of good things that you do here in St. Louis. I've known a little bit because I've done some work here as well, and I've been looking at the area to help people provide permanent supportive housing. What I will tell you is, even if you're good, you can be better. And that's what we're hoping you get out of today, okay? If you're like me, you're saying, well, why are some more successful than others? Bottom line, it comes down to this. It's the stakeholders' ability to collaborate. We have a lot of people that really, and this really came out when we started working on our 10-year plan, that truly came to the table saying, what's in it for my organization? That was their philosophy. Why should I be here? Okay, what you need you to come to the table saying is, what can my organization offer? And to make it easy for you guys, I listed some of the things that you can offer. Some of the things to be able to generate some ideas on what does your organization do for this community and what can you bring to the table. Business is changing, whether we like it or not, and if I can, over the next 30 minutes, get you to change your philosophy and increase your ability to collaborate, it's going to benefit not only your organization, which I guarantee it will benefit the clients that you serve. All right. So everybody hold it tight. Okay, please work. After all this trouble. This is your visual of your web, okay? And what I want everybody to know is the people that are up here are our continuum of care. So they are all stakeholders in addressing homelessness here in St. Louis. And if you see, and if it was crisscross, it would even be better, you'd have way less holes, but this is your safety net. This is your visual. This is what you're trying to create. Systems that actually work in preventing and ending homelessness. Let me show you something. Okay, what's your name, Rick? Rick. Is it Nija? Nija, Nick, and Sister Marie. Will you pray for me, please, that this goes well? Thank you. On the count of 3, I want you guys to drop yours. 1, 2, 3. See what happens to our network? Okay? When you have just 3 people that are supposed to be at the table that lost funding or they lost partnership at the table for some reason, they don't want to do the same things that they were doing that were continuing the network, your whole thing gets filled with holes. Okay? And somebody else has to reach over and pick up that network. Because guess where our hard-to-reach clients are going to be? In those gaps. Okay? Give a round of applause for our volunteers. Thank you, guys. You can just drop it on the stage. What I'll tell you is this is just an example of some of the people, a visual of some of the people that you really need to be inviting to your continuum of care if they're not here already. You know, do you have doctors involved? Do you have people that have access to medication? Do you have the university involved that can give you interns or that can give you, none of us can keep up with the research, for God's sakes. Actually, in my consulting business, one of the things we heard from the executive directors is, it would be great if you would have somebody summarize the research and give me 2 or 3 bullet points so that I can keep running a shelter and I don't have to know everything there is to know about permanent supportive housing. Okay? Who can keep up? We need other people that can keep up for us and summarize it and give it to people like Dan Buck, for example, who's going to be in front of a TV camera and could say 2 or 3 things about how important that is and what the current trend is. Okay? If we don't keep up, we will be overrun. This is very critical. Complaining does not work as a strategy. So all of you that are going to your meetings going, oh, this is crap. My people are getting pushed out, and this is just not fair, and I can never get a Section 8 voucher. Who the hell waits 5 years for a Section 8 voucher? It doesn't help you. In fact, it makes you stuck because your focus is on all the problems that aren't working. And we know in other areas, successful areas, that if you change your focus to the things that are working, all of a sudden, everything turns around. Okay? And that's what I want you to get out of some of this. Anytime we spend whining is unlikely to help us achieve our goals. All right. So here's your homework. By the end of this day, I want you, and yes, I will be asking some of you, so you don't have to avoid me all the rest of the day. I'll ask people that I've already met. I want you to meet 3 new people and get phone numbers and set some time up to follow up. Even if it is people you already know, I mean, it'd be better if you didn't know them, but if it's people that you can't find the time to connect with and you've been meaning to, use today to do it, okay? Take one idea, write it down today, and before you go home, spend 5 minutes and figure out how to make that time happen and implement it by 6:30. That's the end of the month. So it doesn't have to be big. We'll start small. We'll start where you are, okay? Something new. I already wrote 2 ideas down that Suzanne had that I'm going to have conversations with people in my community about the way some of the systems are set up here. Remember, individuals play games, teams win championships. So true, okay? You have a choice today. You can leave here and you can continue to do business as usual and you can take nothing out of this whole day. Or you can leave here and try something different and start to find if there's opportunities even in this current climate. Choice is yours. Hope you make a good one. I have to pee. Thank you very much for your time. Thanks.